Pranams everybody. Today I'm making a video about how to use Karma Yoga as a way to reduce desires and preferences and things like that. You can see on my screen here I've got some dot points that I want to go through, and you guys can see which one I'm on there, and hopefully it acts like a bit of a reference guide. The first one that I want to go through is Vishvarupa Darshana, the vision of everything being Bhagavan. Because this is an important bhavana to have, this vision of everything being Bhagavan. Not just in Advaita Vedanta, but the entire of Hinduism. This is taught in chapter 11 of the Gita. Arjuna gets given the Divya Chakshuhu, the divine eyes, or the third eye, which isn't a literal eye, it's the eye of discrimination. Okay, it's an inner eye, it's an eye of the mind. So it's knowing that through discrimination, through knowledge, okay, it's knowing that everything we see is Bhagavan. Everything. All of the things, all of the rivers, all the trees, the ants, the stars, the supernova, okay? Everything in this creation is Bhagavan. It's his body. Maya is the body of Bhagavan. And this Bhagavan, this Ishvara, is Brahman. But it's Brahman viewed through the lens of Maya. So Ishvara, or another name for it, is Saguna Brahman, is Brahman. There isn't two Brahmans. There isn't Saguna Brahman and Nirguna Brahman. There is just Brahman. Okay? But that reality, that Brahman, when it's viewed through the Maya Upadhi, becomes Saguna Brahman. I shouldn't have said becomes, because it's not a transformation that happens, it's just Brahman. But when we view Brahman through the Maya Upadhi, it is Saguna Brahman. Without the Upadhi, it is Nirguna Brahman. Okay, so Brahman seen through ignorance. Brahman seen through ignorance is Saguna Brahman. That Saguna Brahman, another name for that Saguna Brahman is Ishvara. Another name for Ishvara is Bhagavan. So all of this creation is Bhagavan. All the trees, all the rivers, everything is Bhagavan. And that's why when we're doing puja in Hinduism, and we have the murtis, the idols, we're not worshipping the rock. We're not worshipping the brass or whatever the idol is. We're not worshipping that idol. We're worshipping it as what it represents. And what it represents is Bhagavan, or Brahman itself. Just like a flag, this is one of Swamiji's, Swami Paramarthananda's analogies, so I'm borrowing it from him, and he may have borrowed it from somewhere else, I don't know. But a flag, okay, say if we want to pay respect to India, how do we do that? Do we stand in a field and do namaskaram? Or do we do it to each person that we walk past? We do. Namaste. But I'm just saying, how do we do it to the whole of India and everything that's within India? Well, one way is we use the flag. We can stand in front of the flag and pay respects to the flag, and that's the same as paying respects to the whole of India. So when we get when we're doing puja and when we get the murti or the idol and we pay respect to the idol, we're paying respect to the entire creation, or the entire idea of whatever that deity represents, because each deity is representing one aspect of that Bhagavan. Lakshmi, okay, one aspect. Ganesha, one aspect. Indra, one aspect. Agni, one aspect. The heat, okay, all the heat, the life, fire, the energy, the energy principle. The principle of heat is Agnihi, the god, Agnihi. Okay, and so what we as Hindus aim to do is use this vision to be dharmic. And so I'll quickly explain what dharma is. Dharma is holding this vision within our mind's eye that everything is God, okay, and using it to serve the creation, Bhagavan. Because Bhagavan is the family, okay? Our family is Bhagavan. So dharma is serving the family. If you're a dad, it's, whatever duties you have. If you're a mum, it's those duties. If you're a son, it's those duties. Each person within a family has their set of duties within that family. And at your job, you have a set of duties, okay? And those duties serve that job. And that job is an extension of Ishvara because it's part of society. And society is an extension of Ishvara. There's so many things that we're a part of and that we're intertwined into. And we have to serve those things and we have to benefit them. That's why we do dhanam. That's why we do charity. Okay? The idea of Hinduism is not just to do dhanam or charity to a beggar. Okay? That's a very nice thing to do, but that's not the goal, is not to just give money. It's to benefit the entire creation, okay? Planting a tree. If you have some spare food, or if you're cooking food, chuck an extra handful of rice in, and give that to some ants or something. Okay, so the idea of dharma is not just to benefit the family, not just to benefit the job where you work, not just to do community service. Okay, it's to benefit the entire creation, all right, and in whatever way your imagination can do. And it's important that you practice getting creative with this because it's a power that you have, okay? So you have the free will to be able to come up with these things, so it's important that you do that. Now, the obstacle to us doing all this good and to becoming beneficial to the creation is kama krodha. What is kama krodha? Kama krodha is the source of raga dvesha and all the things that we experience as samsaris. And so the root that stops us, the main root cause of us failing to do this would be kama krodha. Right? Karma is our desire to experience, okay? It is what makes it so that we don't experience purnatvam. We don't feel full. We don't feel complete. We feel like there's something missing. No matter how much money we have, no matter how much we make or earn, we always feel like we need more. We need to experience that yummy food. We need to make more money. We need to do this. We need to experience. We need to have fun because we're incomplete. Okay? So that is called karma, not karma, karma. And the reason I call it kama krodha is because krodha means anger, and krodha is born out of our desires not being met. So really, kama is the cause, krodha is the effect. Kama is the cause of raga, dvesha, krodha, all these, matsarya, all of them. Okay, so what we need to do is pluck the kama from its root. And then we become an empty vessel. We become an instrument for the Lord, for Bhagavan to play. Okay? Because without our own karma krodha, we can be dharmic. And we're not just dharmic, we're dharma machines. We are just pure nature. Okay? Without our own say, without our desires to do this or have this or to earn this or whatever, we can become an instrument for the Lord. So, the question becomes, how do we pluck the karma krodha? We need two main tools that are taught in karma yoga. Okay, so that's the cure. The cure is karma yoga. And there's two main things that we need. So the two main mindsets that we need are Ishvararpana Buddhi and Ishvara Prasada Buddhi. Ishvararpana Buddhi is devoting all of our actions to the Lord. Okay, so to this creation. So when you get a job, be a dharmic job. If you're struggling at your job, remind yourself that this is for the balance of the cosmos. All right, you might only be doing you might just be a checkout person at a grocery store, but our society needs people in the grocery store. We need people building houses. We need so many things. So if you have a job that does one of these things, you are upholding dharma. Okay, and so you remind yourself that. It doesn't matter if you work at a sewage plant. Someone needs to process the sewage. Okay? So you're upholding, you're serving the Lord. Okay? You're serving your family, you're serving the community, you're servicing the job where you work, you're servicing them, and most of all, you're servicing the Lord, because all these things are the Lord. Okay? So we need that buddhi, we need that darshana, we need that vision. Ishvara prasada buddhi. The second thing is accepting all results as a gift from Bhagavan. Okay? So anything bad that comes to you, whether it's a family member passing, or you get fired from work, or you stub your toe, or a mosquito is biting you, all of these things, all of these papams that you perceive as papams, you can use them to grow, and you can accept them as Ishvara Prasada. And accepting these things as Ishvara Prasada is called Ishvara Prasada Buddhi. Okay? Now, if we learn to do this, if we learn to serve the creation, to become part of the creation, not influenced by our own vraga dvesha, and we learn to let the Lord play us as an instrument, and if we accept all things that are happening to us that we perceive as papams, well, then the papams actually become punya palam, not papa palam. Now everything bad happening to you is punya palam. Because for a spiritual seeker, having something to grow from is good luck. Okay? There is no losing for a karma yogi. There is no... The world measures our success by material gain, by getting a job, getting a house, getting a family, getting a car, getting a piece of land. All of these things are called punya papams. And bad things are losing your job, losing your land, someone in your family dying, this, all these bad things. They're papa palam. But for the karma yogi, these things are good because we get to learn, we can spiritually grow. And therefore, for the karma yogi, there is no losing in life. There is no way to fail in life. Everything is an opportunity for growth, and so there is no losing. And these attitudes that we develop are what blunt the raga dvesha, the kama krodha. And it transforms our entire life into sadhana. It turns the entire life into worship. Okay, and that's the idea of being a karma yogi. Not to wake up, do the puja, okay, and then no sadhana. No sadhana till later. Okay, and then we do more sadhana, and then we have a break, and then we do japa, and then there's a break. The whole life is sadhana. The whole life is karma yoga. That's the transformation we want to make. Brushing your teeth, having a shower, okay? Taking the rubbish out. All these things are an opportunity for karma yoga. All these things are an opportunity to serve the Lord. All of these things are an opportunity for you to grow, okay? And that's what we need from karma yoga, is to grow. Because karma yoga is our ticket, our only ticket to go to jnana yoga, to qualify. I'm not saying don't do jnana yoga unless you've got because karma yoga gives us qualifications of the mind that make us prepared to assimilate, understand jnana yoga, the knowledge of the self. So, but I'm not saying don't study the self if you feel like you still have raga dvesha. Of course, study. It gives you direction in life. It reminds you what we're doing this for, why it gives your karma yoga more passion, more power. Okay, and studying the self is karma yoga for someone that is not quite achieved chitta shuddhim. Chitta shuddhim is a purified mind. For someone who hasn't achieved chitta shuddhim, then study of the self is karma yoga. Okay, so live your life and study the Gita and get to know and to see this creation as the Lord. Learn to serve this creation and learn to use what this creation gives you that you think are papa palam, turn them into punya palam. It's a shift of the mind. It's a mindset shift. Just do that. Okay. And then you're a karma yogi. And then you can be a jnana yogi and you can be free. Not upon death, while you're living. Okay?